Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my goodness. So I'm sure we're all aware of the troops going into DC and certain areas to protect the American people of these criminals and these thugs. Now, I will say this, that there is a theory going around that all the troops are going into black neighborhoods. They're going to black areas, you know. They're going to what they're saying, all the governors are black in these areas or whatnot, these cities that they're going into. And, you know, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
As President Trump is trying to make our city safer, Democrats think they know what he's exactly motivated by. You guessed it, racism.
I think it's very notable that each and every one of the cities called out by the president has a black mayor, and most of those cities are seeing historic lows in violent crime.
The president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men, and so of course he would speak in those petite and puerile terms.
Do you think there's race driving this?
I won't say that's like the totality of it, but I absolutely think it is. Yes, there are homicides in my city. Yes, there is crime, but we don't think the same prescription of help is necessary.
And one thing I will say is that, as the individual said on Fox News, that this is a feature, not a bug. That this happens to be, you know, black people being the beneficiary of not voting for Donald Trump. That's what this happens to be.
So why is the president picking black cities?
The president isn't picking black cities. The president is trying to solve a problem. And it happens that black Americans who didn't give him a majority of their votes are going to be the beneficiaries.
Damn. I just want people to understand that, yeah, this sounds right. This is exactly what me and others were trying to warn people of. That who do you think they're talking about when they're talking about criminals? Like when Trump said, hey, we need to get the criminals out of the country who are citizens here.
I like to say, you know, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together.
I don't know who you think that this country, since we got here, has labeled as criminals, has labeled as thugs. What do you think we constantly hear about Chicago, right? Compton, Inglewood. What do you think those areas are? They are not even like dog whistling anymore.
They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. They are not owed that.
Wake up, nigga.
They're simply saying, yeah, y'all are the problem. And one thing you have to understand, even though that the crime is down, it doesn't matter. The issue is not about crime.
It's about sending a message.
And I know there are people who want to say, oh, why are you making it racial? I'm not making it racial. I'm making an observation. Let me just be clear. I'll say it again. I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation. Because when it comes to crime, they have already associated black with criminality. They did this when we were slaves. So upon us getting free, what did you think was going to happen? This is what they have done in this country, and this is how they have, very much codified this in the eyes of the law. When you look at law enforcement, when you look at cops, when you look at who they show as a criminal, and criminality to many people in this country has a color. And to follow up on that, the issue has never been the crime. That's never been the issue. These fools commit crime all the time, okay? You got Enron, they bankrupting when it came to the housing market. They do crime all the time, all right? And they get bailed out, all right? They get a slap on the wrist. Hey, don't do that again. We see with Maxwell, right? Where you can traffic people, mess with kiddies. And she's been moved to a lower security area. So they get slap on the wrist. So the issue is not the crime. The issue in this country, based off of observation, just saying, has been the race. That's what that has been.
He's out of line, but he's right.
And when it comes to what's going on in D.C., yeah, that's what they're looking to do. And you have people talking about, oh, they're treating black people with brutality and they're doing all that. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know what to tell you, because I was trying to let people know that's exactly what's going to happen. All this Project 2025, all these people that he's hiring, all these people around him, they have a very, very clear, crystal clear view of the crime. They don't care of whether or not, oh, it's coming because you don't have a job. They don't care about that. The issue has never been about preventing crime, right? When we saw when it came to defund the police. Defund the police was not about attacking the police. Defund the police was actually about making the jobs and the lives of officers easier. That's what it was about, okay? In which officers actually supported that because they're upset that you're asking them to do everything. And they're not trained to do everything.
We're asking cops to do too much in this country. We are. We're just asking us to do too much. Every societal failure, we put it off on the cops to solve. Not enough mental health funding. Let the cop handle it. Not enough drug addiction funding. Let's give it to the cops. Here in Dallas, we got a loose dog problem. Let's have the cops chase loose dogs.
And in having said that, what they are now going to be doing, because there are a bunch of these, goofy, tangible Negroes, hashtag cut the check, hashtag tangibles, all these goofies that thought, oh, it's just going to affect the illegals, Lucas. Oh, it's just going to affect the brown people, Lucas. You don't have to worry about it. If you're an American, you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, at what point in time has that ever happened in this country? At what point in time has that ever happened in this country where they have done something and it has not negatively or adversely impacted black Americans? Can you tell me? I'm all ears, all right? So now what they're doing is they're looking towards the areas of criminality, and they don't care what caused it. They'll put cocaine, they'll put dope in the community, let the community blow up, and then arrest people. That's what they'll do. And then when you're asking, well, how did the cocaine get in there? That's not the point. The point is you chose to use the cocaine. That's why you're getting locked up. Damn. The point is you chose to use the drugs that we planted there. That's why you're getting locked up. Damn. And it's amazing how naive so many black people were. That they were going to be above the fray. That I'm an American just like my white brother, and I'm not going to be attacked. And it's just like, what? The way that some of these goofies were talking, they were acting like they were white themselves and like, oh, we built the country and we foundational to the country. And now you getting a wake-up call.
Wake up, nigga.
That's what's happening. Now you getting a wake-up call. And I know she washed the greens in the bathtub. I know she's not really black. She's Indian. I know. Well, here, this is what you voted for. I don't want to hear not one of these goofies complain about this, because this is what you were warned about, and this is what you're getting. So anyone who gets abused, anyone who gets brutalized, okay, one thing you have to understand, it's not considered brutality, because that's in the eyes of the law. And as we saw with the last dude, right, who got his window slammed and smacked across the face, yeah, those officers aren't getting charged. They didn't see that as brutality, okay? So you have to understand where y'all at, because it seems like many of the vocal, all right, the vocal minority seem to be acting a little bit uppity. They seem to be acting like they think they something that no one in the country agrees with, that no one in the country acknowledges, and that like, bruh, do you know where you are? This isn't your land. This is hostile territory that you're residing in. So I think this is a great wake-up call.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I anticipated this from the jump because they've been very clear about, hey, there are too many black and brown people here.
Then Washington, D.C. must be swept clean. I believe entire neighborhoods probably need to be emptied, need to be bulldozed. I believe that there are places that are so crime-ridden and so infested that you just need to, you're just going to have to crack down. You're going to have to do the job, and you're going to have to get the crime out of Washington.
And because of too many black and brown people, that is coming at a negative impact of white Americans. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just letting you know this is where their mindset is. And they're looking to change things. They're looking to make America great again, but for Americans. And guess who they believe are Americans? Not your black butt, not my black butt. So all these goofies, I'm black America, I'm a foundation. They don't view you as that. They're looking to make the country for the dominant society, and they want to remain dominant, and that's what they're going to be doing. So they're going to try to get you out of there, and if they can't get you out of there, they're going to incarcerate you.
Damn.
This has been their MO, for a while now. The only difference is now they have someone in the Oval Office who's unashamed to say it, who's unashamed to take the steps that they need to do to curb, the crime. And if you don't believe that crime is synonymous with black people in this country, how it's been portrayed, joke's on you. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, Lucas, we are foundational, okay? We are foundational and we are American. That's what you have to understand. We are crucial to this country, all right? And we're going to prove it. Or if you don't believe, who are you going to prove it to? A group of people who don't even care? A group of people who don't even want you here? Who didn't even want you to exist in the first place? I don't even understand what y'all are talking about right now. You're just babbling at this point. You're just mindless, senseless babble. Anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, Disagreement Day. Call in and we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about this and subscribe. And all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
You're just going to have to crack down.